Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GameSpot studios. I'm your host, Chris Waters, here for Diablo III Ultimate Evil Edition Extravaganza. I think it's going to be an extravaganza. Would you agree? Yes? Does that work?
Yeah,
Johnny Ebert and Tiffany Watt joining me from Blizzard. Thank you two for coming here to show off the game.
Of course.
My pleasure, man.
It's Ultimate Evil time. Johnny, you and I spoke about this game at E3, showed it off, and today we're doing like a real an extended demo, hour long. Just going to get into the game and do a Q&A. So we're taking your questions, folks, on twitch.tv/GameSpot, on GameSpot.com, and also on Twitter. And then we're also giving some stuff away and talking Diablo 3. Should be fun.
Sounds great.
All right. So, Johnny, where are we starting off here? What do we got?
We're in adventure mode. So adventure mode is something we kind of developed for people who've completed the game. And we kind of wanted, playing the same story sequence over and over again can get a little repetitive. So we want to kind of open the world up for them and make it much easier for them to explore the world in ways they hadn't before. So, you'll talk to Tyrael over here, and he'll tell you, "Hey, evil is running amok in the world of Sanctuary. I have some
As it
tasks."
always does.
It tends to, yeah.
Just
Not a
one
lot
of
of quiet
those
times.
places.
Not a lot of quiet times. So you'll go over to the portal here, and you'll see these exclamation points up on the screen. Those are quests that you can complete and bring back to Tyrael. So, I don't know. Should we start with?
Level 1 sounds good.
Yeah.
Now, Cathedral level 1, we've completed the game at this point in the save. We've got some pretty high-level characters. Does level 1, as in other ways, does it correspond to the difficulty of the quest, or because it's that sort of special adventure mode quest, does it calibrate differently?
It calibrates to whatever difficulty you set. So we changed the difficulty in Ultimate Evil Edition from traditional. Used to be you just had Hell, Nightmare. I'm getting them out of order, but normal, Nightmare, Hell, Inferno, and then. But they were kind of flattened, and it just wasn't super intuitive. So what we just decided is like, hey, you can just pick from 1 of 10 difficulties, and the game calibrates to your level. And then if you want to turn the heat up, you have a difficulty slider that can go up 10 difficulty levels. It goes all the way up to Torment 6. So if you really want
Torment 6.
Yeah, Torment's not enough. There's 6 of them. So if you really want to bring the heat, man, put Torment 6 on. I probably wouldn't recommend it unless you have some pretty seriously awesome equipment. But the challenge is always there for you.
Is that something you can pull off? I mean, does that scale with your party size? Is that something you can attempt solo, or are you going to need a full crew?
Well, the world does scale up as you add more players.
Sure.
People remember that from the earliest Diablos. The minions of Diablo have grown stronger or weaker. But we did want to encourage group play. So if every person you add to the game, you're getting a bit ahead of the world.
You're getting a little bit of an edge.
Yes.
Yeah. And when we talk about like little bit of an edge, I'm picturing you guys have these like 0.08%. Like do you have it really down to like the calculated margins of damage dealing and stuff like that, all operating under the hood?
I think the specific number is stuff gets 35% stronger on console for every player you add to the game.
Okay.
So it's not. So you are getting. I'm not a statistician, but you're pulling ahead of the game by a pretty significant margin for every person you add. Okay, so we really amped up traps in this game.
Yeah.
If I managed to hit them, I did not. But used to be you drop one of these chandeliers and it would do like 5% of their health, and you'd be like, why did I even bother? But now actually, traps will kill anything, any white mob outright. And if you actually get like a champion pack or a rare under there, it'd probably do like half to 3/4 of their damage. So it's a pretty big payoff.
So do you find yourself like angling a little bit more to try to get those to hit, as opposed to just hitting them because they're going to look cool and it's not going to do much damage anyways?
Well, there's the satisfaction element of killing a bunch of stuff in one shot. But to make it, here, let's watch this. To make it cooler, you'll notice that you'll get a resource regeneration bonus. So like, my resource as a monk is spirit. So I'll have double spirit regeneration.
And in life, Johnny. And in life.
Based on how many monsters I kill by the trap.
And so that's one of the sort of bumps you made for the Ultimate Evil Edition here on console. Is that something you're also putting back into the PC version as well?
Well, you know, one of the awesome things about having the PC and the console version is we can kind of run experiments for each other. So we learned a lot of lessons when the PC team did Ultimate Evil Edition. You can't kill me with the traps. I know you'd like to, but there we go. We learned a lot of lessons when they released Reaper of Souls for the PC.
Sure.
Now we've kind of added these elements. So what we'll do is we'll say, hey, does this make sense for PC? We'll do that kind of on a feature by feature basis.
Right on. All right. Well, you've been smashing stuff around for a little bit. I think it's time you both sort of introduced your in-game personas here. Who are you playing as? What sort of skills are you leaning into?
Well, I'm playing as the Crusader, so he's the one with the big shield with the giant flail. He's a character that we added in Reaper of Souls, so he's one of the new classes. Ultimate Evil Edition does include all of the content of the original Diablo III, as well as all the expansion content that we put in Reaper of Souls. So it's one neat package you can pick up. It has pretty much everything. If you are a player of, if you're a longtime Diablo player, you remember the Paladin. And we like to think that the Crusader is descended from the Paladin, so he's very similar. We've obviously improved him over time, but he has some skills that Paladin fans can cling on to for nostalgia purposes. And
They just want to live that Paladin life again.
Paladin life. He's kind of our mid-range melee character. He's able to cast some spells. He does a lot of damage up front in the faces of the monsters. He has a cool horse, which Johnny just teleported me to the next world in.
Well, did we complete the bounty on this level yet? I haven't been paying attention. I cannot play and talk at the same time, so I'm going to do probably both poorly, but I'll do one or the other even more poorly.
Johnny's been running into corners a little bit, but
That's all right. You got some stuff killed. Johnny, who is your character here?
So I'm playing the monk. So if you're like me and you grew up watching Kung Fu theater and you just love, rattling off 100 punches in less than a second,
yes, please.
This is the character for you. So monk, like I said, can just unleash all kinds of crazy damage and get right in the middle of the action. She's a little more delicate than the Crusader, but she has a lot of things she can do to mitigate damage and keep afloat.
All right. Well, we're going to dip into some Twitch and GameSpot questions here in just a moment. But quick note before we go ahead and do that. Astute viewers might have noticed in the top left portion of the screen there's a little unlocked thing. Oh no, it's not going to show. It's in the gameplay. Why are you showing me? Anyways, there's a little unlocked thing in the top right. That is because this is a demo version of the game that we're playing, and it allows us to sort of play at a stretch as opposed to timing out, which is as opposed to at PAX Prime when you guys are showing this off, it's going to cut off. Your demo time is going to come to an end automatically or something like that, right?
Well, just so the next person in line can have it.
Exactly. So there's no one else in line. If you notice that thing, it's just there because it's a demo version. But everything else, this is how the console version is going to look. We're playing here on a PS4, right?
We are, and as you can see, it's displaying in a beautiful 1080p.
Yeah.
We are proud that this game is running 60 frames per second, both on the PS4 and the Xbox One.
And while we have it up here, you may notice we revamped the massacre mechanic quite a bit for console. Kind of what we wanted to do is what we noticed on the PC is people were ignoring the normal monsters and just racing to the elite packs or the bosses. So we tried to make massacre a much more visceral, exciting experience. So once you get a massacre rolling, you can actually see the counter going up, which kind of gets you pretty jazzed. But you also notice there's an XP multiplier that keeps going up at the bottom as we kill more monsters. That's multiplying everything we kill in the massacre. So right now it's at 3.25, so we're at 110 monsters. So basically when we're done, it's going to be like killing 330 monsters in terms of how much experience is granted.
Yeah, it just kicks it up right there, gives you that little boost. And it just encourages massacre. Something you guys, in the Diablo world, feels so good.
Yeah, let's keep that in the game world. But
absolutely.
Yeah, it's something we like to encourage.
Absolutely. All right, so dipping into the twitch.tv/GameSpot chats. Of course, one of the questions on everyone's mind is about the patches coming to the console version. How are you guys going to be handling those kind of updates? Patch 2.1, a lot of people curious about. What's the plan?
Well, anyone who's followed Blizzard for a while knows that we support our games for a long time. I mean, people still playing, Diablo 2 or StarCraft 1 can attest to that. We do have some really exciting things to announce on our patch strategy in the near future, and so we'll be talking about that soon.
Right now? Is it gonna? No, it's not gonna be right now. It's gonna be soon.
Yeah, not today. Let's say that. Yeah.
killing me, Johnny. All right, well, cool. So there you go, folks. If you stay tuned to GameSpot, of course, we're going to have that news for you just as soon as these guys release it into the wild. The Festering Woods. Who comes up with these names? Is that you, Tiffany? Feels like Festering Woods is something that you would get down with.
Something I would get down with.
Yeah, I don't know.
Woods. I don't know if I like that association. We got a cursed chest over here. This is one of the new events that we added in Reaper of Souls, so you'll be able to experience it in Ultimate Evil Edition. We're going to kind of pump up the chest experience.
Wow. Yeah, I'll say.
We did it, Johnny.
Speaking of the stuff you guys added for the it's the PC version, Reaper of Souls. Mizzle1987, curious to know on Twitch, where are the clickers from The Last of Us?
So The Last of Us Nephilim Rift is a Sony exclusive. So if you do purchase the game on either the PS3 or the PS4, you will get access to this exclusive Sony content. Based off the obviously famous Last of Us game, we decided to come up with a Nephilim Rift that kind of pays homage to that game. So a Nephilim Rift.
That game was really awesome.
Yeah, it's really creepy. I think we managed to pull it off pretty well. Nephilim Rifts are part of Adventure Mode, so when you're playing through the game in Adventure Mode, you'll just have a chance to come across The Last of Us Nephilim Rift. You'll notice it because you'll hear the clickers, you'll see the bloaters. We had a really, really good time coming up with the Nephilim Rift.
And so is it just the enemies in there, or are you guys going to get like shabby plaid armor so you can dress like Joel, you know?
No, you're still going to look like your awesome Diablo characters.
I suppose that's fitting.
But if you do want to wear some cool armor from the Sony exclusive world, we do have a Shadow of the Colossus set, which is kind of a tribute to a lot of the players who played that game.
That'll also be a Sony exclusive. So you'd be able to go to the Mystic, who is the new crafter in Reaper of Souls, and be able to apply that transmog set to whatever class you're playing, and you're going to look like really awesome.
Yeah, so what is the new crafter, what sort of makes that crafter new? What is it, how does that add to the experience here?
So obviously a big part of the Diablo endgame is to get the best loot possible.
Yes.
That's the focus, that's what everybody wants. And in the original Diablo 3, you didn't really have a lot of control over what kind of gear you would get. You just have to play through the game and hope that things dropped and hope that it rolled the stats that you wanted to roll for your character. The Mystic kind of puts that control back into the player's hands a little bit. She offers you the opportunity to enchant your gear, so you get to pick a stat that is on your gear and re-roll it to something that hopefully is awesome for your character. And so it just opens up a lot of opportunities to make gear that works for your build or for your character that maybe you weren't able to get to drop in the world.
Right on.
And she also offers transmogrifying, which Johnny was just talking about. And you can change the look of your gear. So if you really want to look like you're from Shadow of the Colossus, you can wear whatever gear you're wearing now, but still look like you're running around as, I guess, whatever character you want to.
All right, we've got people curious about the giveaways that we'll be doing here during the stream. We're actually going to be giving them away after the stream, but I'll show you folks I'll show you one of the things we're giving away here. It's one of these pop vinyl guys. It's Tyrael. We're giving away two of these actually that you guys so generously brought along. We've got Tyrael and we've got Diablo. Check them out. Yeah. Stay tuned to GameSpot on Twitter. Follow at GameSpot, and after the stream, we'll be posting some news about how you can go about winning that stuff. Now, back into the deluge of questions. Mechwatt on Twitch echoing some questions, that sort of come with any platform, any game arriving on a new platform. Can I use my character from the old platform on the new platform, specifically here PC to PS4?
Not from PC to PS4, but what we are really excited to announce is that you can do cross-band platform transfers. So if I had a character on the 360 and I decided to buy a PlayStation 4, I could transport that character across generations and brand. Same goes for PS3 to Xbox One.
So PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, you can transfer your characters all between them? Or is it just from the older generation to the current generation?
So you can transfer if you played Diablo 3 on the older generations, Xbox 360 and PS3, and you purchase Ultimate Evil Edition, again on the older generations, you can carry your save forward.
Okay.
But you also can carry your save from the older generations to the newer generations if you did happen to upgrade. And as Johnny was talking about, we offer the cross-brand transfers. So even if you ended up picking up a PlayStation 4 when you were an Xbox fanboy before, you can definitely carry your save forward and keep playing your characters in Sanctuary.
Nice.
And if you do end up purchasing Ultimate Evil Edition on the older generation consoles now, and say for Christmas you get a newer generation console, you can carry your save forward into the new consoles also.
Very cool. I'm really intrigued about the cross-brand transfer stuff. Like, it wasn't that many years ago that stuff on console just seemed like, there's no way they're going to let that happen. No way, Sony and Microsoft. But now it seems like getting along a little better, recognizing that, like, you know, that just increases sort of the value proposition for their consumers if it makes it easier for them.
Yeah, I think that, you know, all the companies are interested in doing what's best for, you know, the community out there. We really want to just support games and make it easy for people to enjoy games as best they can. So I'm really excited that we were able to offer this for Ultimate Evil Edition. I mean, we kind of felt the same way at first, like, oh, this is never going to happen. And then, you know, lo and behold, here we are, and now we're offering these transfers. So it's really exciting.
They're both great partners. When we all sat down to talk about it, that was just what everyone's primary goal was what's best for the player.
All right, some questions about the individual classes. Big Game James wants to know about any changes to the monk character. Sorry, specifically, let me word this exacusing monk changes?
Is that what Big Game James sounds like?
Yes. Well, you know, it's all caps. Using a little artistic license here, but you guys got anything for me?
Well, I think that's how all caps sounds. But yeah, so basically, we made several monk changes in the Reaper Souls edition and in some of the subsequent patches. So the console edition with the day one patch should have all of those changes.
Right on. Mancini 1030, will the touchpad on the PS4 be utilized?
Oh, yes, it will. So when we first started playing with it, we just loved the feel of it. So, you know, you can right-click and left-click with it. So left-click takes me straight to inventory like this. If I right-click it, it takes me straight to skills. If you actually have your thumb resting on the left-hand side, just like I did, it still registers. So one thumb at a time, please. And then once you're inside, you can kind of circle around it with your finger. We thought that felt really cool and natural too. And you can click to select. So yeah, you'll get to play with the touchpad quite a bit.
And while we're on the subject of Sony-specific sort of hardware capabilities, let's talk about remote play on the PlayStation Vita. Does it totally work? Is it totally good?
It totally does work, and it totally is good.
Yeah.
You'll be able to pick up a Vita and, oh, Johnny's going somewhere, and play the game if...
Can you play it like PC style where you just point, you just tap, 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 like the mouse clicks on the touchscreen?
It's still the same way as PS4 would work.
I think that's...
translated to a Vita.
There you go. That's a good call. That's how remote play works, right?
One other cool PlayStation 4 feature is if you look at the controller, it's got a light bar on the front. And the light bar color actually coordinates with the player ring. So if you ever are confused what player you are on screen, oh, blue, I've got a blue player ring. And
you put it
Johnny's
down,
got
you go get a snack, you come
orange.
back. You don't want to change your class. You don't want to be playing as no monk. You're a crusader, damn it.
No vendors for you. Let's jump back into bounties.
All right, while you guys pick another bounty, I'm looking in the GameSpot comments. Mr. Hollywood wants to know, will there be any clan or community support in-game for the Ultimate Evil Edition?
Clan and community support is something we're always looking at, so we might have some really cool things to share in the near future on that.
The near future is going to be an exciting time for people interested in Diablo III Ultimate Evil Edition. You guys still festering over here in the woods?
No, we are... Where are
Fields
we?
of
We're in the
Misery.
Fields of Misery.
Yeah.
All right, Jar Jar
Half a
Mercs
place.
is curious to know about the monster density increase. Specifically, will the Xbox One also receive that?
Well, one of the things that was awesome about going to next gen was that it had just the raw horsepower to handle some of the crazier encounters we had. So, you know, for current gen, sometimes we did have to taper down the monster density in certain encounters, but we did not have to do that on next gen, and we're really excited about that.
Excellent. And again, speaking of next gen or current gen, I guess it is now. Anyways,
We like to go with next gen.
it's
or,
still you
and
still
last
want it to
gen.
sound like the future, right?
Next gen and last gen makes it really easy.
It's
to
very
understand.
clear. Yeah. Jumper Jumps wants Tiffany. I think you addressed this earlier, but the question of resolution on the Xbox One. You mentioned on the PS4, but it's just give them the resolution breakdown real quick.
The game will be available on 1080p on both the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One.
There we go.
Native 1080 resolution. You'll need to download the day one patch for the Xbox One to get that support, but it will be there. Very happy about that.
Whoa, very
It
cool.
runs in 60 frames consistently across the whole game, even if you got 4 players and hundreds of monsters on your screen. So.
Excellent. All right. So, folks, again, a reminder, if you want to ask some questions about Diablo III, the Ultimate Evil Edition, go ahead and leave one in the GameSpot comments or get on over to the chat at twitch.tv/GameSpot. And we're also giving away some Pop Vinyl goodies as well as some other stuff I'm going to show you a little bit later in the show. And you're going to have to go ahead and follow GameSpot on Twitter. After the show's over, we're going to put some information on how you can win those there on Twitter. What are you guys looking for? Scavenger's
Scavenger's
Den?
Den.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the arrow.
Right on cue.
You found it. You're within scavenging distance. Oh man, we're getting into some deep technical questions here. Arcturus in the GameSpot comments wanting to know how the stat ranges command works in the compare items screen.
Well, I can actually feel that one. Yeah, you got me really scared there when you're talking about super deep technical stuff.
Well, I mean, you know, me reading it, my technical assessment is probably a little differently calibrated than yours.
Well, the minute we saw that you could do stat ranges on PC, we decided we had to have that on the Ultimate Evil Edition. So basically, if you do left on the D-pad, you can actually see the stat ranges.
There you go.
Boom. You're
So you can
welcome,
see just
Arcturus.
how well your item rolled. And you can also see this, when I was talking about the Mystic earlier, when you are enchanting your items, you can see how well each of those enchant rolls goes.
How they worked out for you.
Yeah, how lucky you were.
Yeah, I was expecting something like, how did you map the memory to this
Yeah,
module?
that's what I was expecting.
Oh, you're going to need a programmer for that one. But yeah.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of, you guys are not programmers, but you can you tell folks a little bit about what you do at Blizzard on Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition?
Well, I was the design lead on the console, so basically I helped design the feature set that you see here on Ultimate Evil Edition. And when we sat down to do that, our main goal was like we just really wanted to leverage the social systems that Next Gen was offering. So you'll notice a lot of our features kind of center around that. You know, like the player gifts that now drop for your friends that will roll legendary items targeted towards their characters, or the apprentice mode, meaning that, like, no matter how large your level difference is, the lower level players are kind of amped up so they can contribute well in your game. Or the nemesis system, which means like once in a while, if I die to a normal monster, it can turn into this super fierce monster known as a nemesis that'll actually hunt down my friends in their games. And if they don't kill the nemesis, it'll jump to one of their friends, and it kind of creates this cool moment all of you can share, even if you're not playing together at the exact same time.
When you say cool moment, you basically mean like the vengeful memory of your friend getting totally owned, coming after you, trying to kill you. Yeah, that sounds kind of fun.
It gives
actually.
you the opportunity to kind of rib them a little bit for dying to a monster.
Assuming you don't die. Assuming you don't die to it as well, too. I need to
If
drop
you
some
die to
stuff
it, then
here.
you just never say anything, right?
It might,
yeah.
it might jump back into their game, and then they'll know.
Yeah, it's best to
Oh,
be quiet in
it
that
might-
situation.
It might go back. And this kind of stuff, that the Nemesis system stuff, that just propagates within sort of like if you're on PlayStation, will that just be within your PlayStation friends
Yeah.
list? That won't be cross-brand.
No.
Okay. Hallucinates through the GameSpot comments wants to know, can we get an update or any info on progress being made to implement PvP, please? By the way, bonus points for being the first person to use the word please.
Well, PvP is something we're always looking at. we're not going to add a PvP system just to add a PvP system. It has to be something that makes sense for the game, adds to the game, works well within the current rules of the game. So yeah, we're still looking at that one pretty closely.
Right on. I feel like I say right on a lot. It's,
Right
it's the
on.
nature of a Q&A.
Worse for a catchphrase.
Right? Yeah. I will try not to. Do worse, that is. All right. What now? You guys seem to be handling this pretty well. Obviously, you don't want to be dying horribly during a demo
Would be a little embarrassing.
while I'm bombarding you with questions. But you know, you mentioned before sort of the range of difficulty levels available. What do you guys, you know, do you find that on console people tend to go to the upper bounds of difficulty, or tend to stay a little bit more in the, you know, less punishing realms? Do you have any sort of perspective on the way console players attack Diablo 3?
I really think that the console community attacks it the same way the PC community does. There will be your casual players that choose to kind of just want to roll face through the content, and you know, Diablo allows you to do that. But for those that are particularly punishing, there are definitely people that really push their characters, I think, to their limits and really amp up the difficulty and try to get to that end game and beat it on the most difficult difficulty they can. We obviously have our hardcore mode, where you have one life. And I think that is a really big draw for a lot of players. I think you get a lot of cred if you say you beat Diablo in the hardest difficulty in hardcore. So I know it's a really, really big community for that. There's a lot of people that stream it. I know it's something that I don't really do. I really want to, I stay away from the hardcore mode.
Yeah, that sounds pretty agonizing, and then more than one of my GameSpot coworkers here has come in some morning after being up far too late.
A lot of people have lost their characters to cats.
Oh, really?
Jumping on the keyboard, power outages. Cats is probably the biggest one.
Listen, environmental hazards, you know, they're a thing in Diablo, they're a thing in life.
Oh, legendary.
All right.
Oh,
gosh, I just had one, and it totally escaped me. I think it was about hardcore characters. Oh, it was about streaming, because you know, there's built-in streaming apps for the PS4, the Xbox One. Has, you know, sort of accommodating those factored into the development at all, or is that sort of not even on your end? That you guys
we
handle
definitely consider. I mean, that stuff is what something Microsoft done is they've built it in, so it's really a seamless experience for developers to support it. It's really, I'm looking forward to seeing how much the streaming community takes on Ultimate Evil Edition. I know it's a really, really big thing for PC players. I'm curious to see if it'll be equally as successful, or even more so on the console, because it is built into the consoles themselves. So we didn't have to do any special considerations during development. We're just kind of curious.
But you'll be watching eagerly to see how well it catches on.
I'm going to see the hardcore streamers defeating Malthael and Torment 6.
Okay, in the Twitch chat, of course, one of the hot topics has been that of modded gear. And so that's something folks are hoping you guys will address a little bit in terms of how that's going to factor into Ultimate Evil Edition on console.
So yeah, totally. So we did a few random samplings of high-level characters just to see how tough the gear was, and that's when we got kind of a taste of like, yeah, there's some people out there taking some liberties with the game rules. So you know, and that's cool if that's how they want to play, but also just in the interest of public games, we kind of wanted to get that under control. So we've added some new rules that have kind of made it so it's more difficult for players to cheat, and if they do cheat, they kind of have to cheat far more within the natural bounds of the game.
Put like some bigger cheat walls around, sort of hem them in.
We can't tell you the secrets of our cheat walls.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm not any kind of mole here. I'm not trying to get you.
Well, we can't make it cheat-proof because you can play offline.
Yeah.
You know, it's all the rules are on your console, so we just can't control it like we can a PC. But we've made it so if you are going to cheat, you're going to have limits to how much you can
You can
cheat.
do it
It's kind of what
offline.
we're
You
aiming
can have a little cheat party. You get your friends over, sit on your cheat couch, play your cheat games, eat your cheat snacks. You know,
Totally.
the whole cheat lifestyle.
Yeah, we support that. Yeah.
All right, some more questions here. Noodle Legs, this one was from a little bit ago in the chat. Noodle Legs wondering about the insane amount of damage dealt by fire chains. Is that something that you guys have sort of tweaked or addressed in any way?
Well, actually, we like that it does a lot of damage. You know, same with like the arcane beams. We really like things that are very dangerous, that are like high intensity spikes. It also especially add gameplay by making you kind of like pay very close attention to your positioning, the positioning of your teammates. So yeah, we kind of like where it's at right now.
And speaking of, where are you at right now? You guys just went into a Nephilim rift.
We just jumped into a rift. After we completed the bounties, we got some rift fragments. So we went over to the obelisk, and Orc opened this rift for us.
How many fragments did that cost? Someone was curious about that. Does it depend on the
This is the
rift,
demo,
or?
so right now it costs us 5 fragments, which is how it was when Reaper of Souls launched on PC.
Okay. Maybe there'll be different costs.
Maybe in the near future you'll find out that it might be different.
All right.
Just maybe.
Just maybe.
Perhaps. It's a possibility.
All right, so what are you guys hoping to get out of this rift? I mean,
Sweet loot.
sweet loot, naturally.
Cool rift boss is also cool.
And sorry to go back to the Last of Us thing, is it within a Nephilim rift that you would encounter?
Yes.
The Last of Us demons? Would
Yeah.
they be alongside other Diablo creatures, or would it just be a purely, you know, clickers and boomers rift, sort of sealed within its own world?
I believe it's a pure rift.
Yeah, I
I haven't
believe it's
played
pure
it in a
rift.
few months, but last time I played it, it was a pure rift.
Really creepy, going back to that.
Did you have some flashbacks?
The clicker sound is just, I don't know, something very iconic and creepy about it.
Yep, they really calibrated that really well. Sabobnot from the Twitch chat, wondering how linking to BattleNet will work and what kind of benefits there will be for doing so.
So if you do want to take advantage of the cross-brand transfers, so that would be from a Microsoft console to a Sony system, or vice versa, then you will need to link your BattleNet account to both your Xbox Live account and your Sony Entertainment Network account. And in doing so, you will actually get a legendary item in game. It's called the Signet Ring of the Blizzard. I believe it's a level 11 item, but you can wear it at level 1, so it kind of gives your early characters a little bit of a boost. So there's a pretty cool thing that we give you. And in linking your accounts, it just helps basically the save transfer take place. Even players that are not doing the cross-brand transfer can link their accounts. So you don't have to link both. If you're just a Microsoft player, you only have an Xbox Live account, then you just have to either use an existing BattleNet account or create one. It is free on our website, and link from there. Pretty awesome.
Nicely done. Answered. I mean, you answered that question really well. Also, the linking is probably well done too.
We like
Yeah,
to
we'd
think so.
like to hope so.
We try to make it as seamless as possible.
And one of the great things about signing up for a free BattleNet account is you could also download our new free-to-play game Hearthstone, which I think a lot of us are spending way too much time on.
Oh man, you want to talk about some Hearthstone? We got some folks in the back who'd love to come out here and talk to you about that.
I was for the next one.
Seriously, I was just this past weekend. I was away at a bachelor party on the beach, and one of the dudes had brought his laptop so he could get his dailies in.
That's sweet.
You gotta earn that gold. It's important.
It didn't go well for him, unfortunately.
The beach party or his dailies? 'Cause
The dailies. The beach party was
terrible.
fantastic, yeah. But his arena did not work out. Sorry, wrestler.
Calling you out on the stream.
Yeah. He's definitely not watching. He works a job where he can't do that kind of stuff. All right. What else we got here in the GameSpot questions? Will we have greater rifts and seasons on consoles? And also for the goal, oh my goodness, that degenerated into an unreadable sentence. Did it make any sense of that question?
Well,
before
the first half,
it went
yeah,
down?
totally. So, yes, we will be having greater risks on console. Seasons, no. Just did not make sense to have seasons when we couldn't guarantee the security of the game like we can on PC. So that's going to be a PC exclusive feature, but however, you will be able to get to go to town on greater risks, which is freaking awesome.
Freaking awesome. That's a technical term you guys use within Blizzard. Yeah.
That's the PG-rated version
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You got your goals, your metrics. You got to hit freaking awesome on a number of them.
yes.
All of them.
All right, Rarzy's been working this question for a little while, so I gotta ask it. Will all of our unlocked banner items, like sigils, also transfer over with the data transfer?
They will. all of your, when you transfer your data over, it will bring over all your characters, all your inventory, your stash, your sigils, your banners, pretty much everything.
Not your hacked items, but that's good.
Not your hacked items.
You will have a brand new set of achievements and trophies to earn in Ultimate Evil Edition, though, which we think is pretty exciting for all those who really care about their gamer points score. And definitely
plenty more to mine out
yeah,
from
definitely.
Ultimate
I know
Evil
I'm
Edition.
excited about it. If you get the game on all 4 platforms, that's 4 times the achievements and trophies.
Do you guys have like little internal trophy achievement battles with Blizzard games? Are there like, performance targets you have to set? You don't have at least a 200 gamer score on, one of these, or 5 trophies. What are you
Games
doing?
have a lot of achievements.
Some curiosity about gifting, which is a feature that you guys have had in some incarnations, but sort of what's the item gifting between friends policies coming here on consoles?
Okay, so we implemented a player mail system. So you can mail like items, or you can mail like gold or gems or crafting materials to friends, which is really cool. However, when we implemented this, what a lot of us started to realize is like, I got a lot of friends who play Diablo, and I have no freaking clue what class they're playing or what level they are, so I'm not sure which items are good for them. So we kind of wanted to make it really easy for you to kind of share your adventures with your friends and feel like you're playing in the same world and thinking of each other. So we came up with the idea of player gifts of like, hey, anytime you get a legendary, there's a chance like this box will pop out of it when you pick it up, and it'll have like your friend's name on it. And it's basically, you can send them the box and they open it and it'll roll a legendary for whichever character they open it with. So if they have like 10 characters, they can choose which character they want the legendary for. So it's a really easy way to stay connected with your friends while you're playing if you can't get together and find the time to play together in co-op.
Like a pretty nice way to handle it. Plus, you guys get to design little present boxes, right?
Yeah, that was a lot of
Presumably,
fun.
there's like ribbons on the whole thing.
Well, getting just the right color of ribbon,
It was actually a
tough
discussion that we had.
Yeah.
It changed quite a few times.
Really, there are multiple iterations. I guess
Yeah.
we'll look forward to the Ultimate Evil art book to see all the different ribbons
Ooh,
left
we
on the
got
cutting room
Whimsy
floor.
Sheriff. Gonna help me with this treasure goblin down here.
That was pretty awesome.
You guys are destroying.
Imagine the chat room
sinister
was like,
teddy
that
bears.
monk really sucks. Yeah.
There were some people claiming that they had some significantly better characters than what we're seeing on screen, but
Oh, that's a pretty easy claim to make. I mean,
Yeah.
these aren't super pimped out, but yeah.
They're pretty pimped out.
Oh, the unicorns, the carnage.
But having gone through like a few hundred player characters we downloaded randomly, I do have to admit console players have very impressive sets of equipment.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Teddy bears.
Teddy
Never seen
bears.
such teddy bear
Flowers.
carnage. Vengeful massacre of teddy bears. Keep it going. Get the unicorns in there. All right. Just a reminder, folks, go ahead and ask any question you like in the Twitch chat, but remember, some of them may have been asked already during the stream. Hopefully the folks in the chat have been pretty good about reiterating any questions we've already addressed. And of course, this stream is going to be archived and live on GameSpot just after it concludes, so you can go back and catch any answers you missed. Also, we're going to show off some of the other stuff we're giving away here. We've got some lanyards. These things have like a sick Reaper of Souls sickle on them. Can you see those? I probably need to hold them near my face so they're not out of focus. I don't know if these are TSA approved to go through, but they look pretty great. We'll be giving those away. All you got to do is follow GameSpot on Twitter and keep an eye out for the instructions that'll be posted after the stream on how to go ahead and win one of those. Are you still slaughtering unicorns?
No, we moved past that.
Okay, all right. That seems nice.
We destroyed all the evil unicorns.
The phase, a cry for help.
Just a face.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so the way these Q&A sessions go, it's sort of like questions gain, momentum in the chat, and people start typing phrases over and over again. Legendary gems is the one that I'm seeing a lot. People are curious about legendary gems.
Near future, we can
Talk about that.
talk about things like that.
Near future, are there any Blizzard events coming up in the near future, perhaps?
There are always Blizzard events in the near future.
Well, there's a BlizzCon coming up,
Yes,
which
there
I'm sure
is.
most of you guys know about. So we're looking forward to
BlizzCon.
seeing everybody there.
Definitely.
Which I just have to say, like, that is literally the happiest time of the year, even more than Christmas for me. Because, like, when you just see the Blizzard fans walking around BlizzCon and just how happy and excited they are about our games, it's just, yeah. That's why we put the long hours in.
Do Blizzard employees all get to go to BlizzCon? I mean, is it sort of like
We do.
company-wide mandate? You got.
Not really.
You don't need to be mandated. It's
yeah,
just,
I don't
it's
know if
just
I
a
call
lot
it
of fun,
mandate
man.
when we
It's just
all
to
want
get to
to
hang
go.
out with the fans. The cosplay alone, I mean, yeah,
It's incredible.
yeah.
Do you ever get jealous that you don't get to dress up?
Oh, we all
You
dress
ask,
like that
You
when we
ask
go
people
to
to
work.
like try
Yeah.
their cosplay on.
It's our normal work clothing.
Yeah, that's what we wear. Like,
Just
it
another
really
day at
gets
the
us in
office.
the zone, you know?
I cosplay a skeleton every day at work. Tiffany can talk about her outfit if she wants.
Yeah.
Gom. It's my Gom outfit.
All right. Legendary gems, near future, people. Pay attention.
Near future.
All right, cool. So, let's see. Skullmanioa. Skullman, Iowa. There it is.
Skullman, Iowa.
Takes a few tries sometimes to figure out where
What if
the
it
word
is Manioa,
separation
though?
is. Manioa.
Maybe you were right the first time. Right.
Wondering about the bounties. So you guys have shown off a bunch of bounties so far. Is that something that sort of once you get into the adventure mode, they just keep coming? You can keep on taking them on?
Yeah, so adventure mode unlocks once you've beaten Malthael on any of your characters. So similar to Reaper of Souls on the PC, you could beat Malthael, adventure mode will unlock, and you can play adventure mode to your heart's content. I know I leveled my Crusader solely in adventure mode on PC, and that's something that you can do on console as well. And the bounties keep changing. You can go from act to act completing bounties, to get your blood shards. You can purchase items at Kadala, and then in between you can jump in these Nephilim rifts, which we think are pretty cool because it mixes monsters from all over the game with different environments, and it really adds a lot of varied gameplay. It keeps it really interesting and exciting. Like, we just jumped into that rift with the Whimsyshire characters, and if you've never been there, it's kind of your opportunity to go beat up on some unicorns, which I think is pretty cool.
Also, like, when I went through story mode, I was just so into the story and the progress elements. I wouldn't explore all the little sub-dungeons and side dungeons. So this kind of tells you, like, hey, you're going to get a really cool reward if you do. So it gave me all the encouragement to kind of see those parts of Sanctuary I hadn't felt I had time to visit.
Take a little bit more exploration, a little bit more of the roundabout path. It sounds all very, very soothing, but then you get assaulted by a huge amount of demons
Or ponies.
or ponies, as the case may be. Demon ponies? All right. Checking out the twitch.tv/GameSpot chat here for some questions, as well as the GameSpot comments, folks. So go ahead and put them in there. Be sure to put a little Q before your question. If you type it into the Twitch chat, that makes it easier for me to spot, or question, the whole word. The mods in there will help you guys out.
Yeah, the difficulty.
Oh, you want to get a little tougher here?
It's too boring for Johnny.
All right. Well, let's get a little bit broad on Ultimate Evil Edition here on console, because you guys are playing co-op. You're playing on the couch. You're playing in adventure mode. There's also story mode and online as well. Just give us a rundown real quick.
So what we think is really, really unique about Ultimate Evil Edition is the fact that we can sit on a couch and all hang out and play. So our game supports single system co-op up to 4 players. Well, I guess multiplayer, just up to 4 players. You could have 2 friends at their house playing, and then over either PSN or Xbox Live, you can join up with them. We think it's really awesome just to be able to come home, kick up your feet, sit down in front of your TV, and just play the game in 1080p. And then we do have all of the content that Diablo III has so far, which we think is really, really cool.
So you've got all the Diablo 3 stuff, but yeah, then just clarify for folks the difference between Ultimate Evil Edition and Diablo 3 in terms of the content delivery.
So Ultimate Evil Edition includes also Act 5. It has the new character, or the hero class, the Crusader, which you can see that I'm playing right here. And it also has adventure mode, which me and Johnny have been going through. And it also includes the Mystic that we talked about earlier, that has the transmog options as well as enchanting. And then we've got some console-specific features as well that Johnny can kind of run through.
So, like I kind of ran through it before, but we kind of, two things we did. Like first, we kind of wanted to improve the moment-to-moment gameplay. So there's a few quality of life fixes, and there was a suite of features we called action combat. So some of the quality of life improvements are when we're playing couch co-op, like if you look here, like, you know, say like Tiffany's playing the Crusader and I happen to be playing a Demon Hunter, because she's a melee class, she's always just gonna be right in the middle of the loot, and just human nature, she's gonna hoover it all up. But half of it's
Classic
gonna be
Tiffany.
mine. Well, classic melee dude, right? And so, you know, half of it's mine, and we have to stop, and she has to go through here and start dropping stuff manually. Then I have to pick it up. And instead of using these quick equip menus, we're having to bring the game to a halt. So now what we've done is we've earmarked all the loot in the game. So you see here, like, it'll say like P2, P2.
These are things we dropped, so once they're dropped, they're free range.
Yeah,
For anybody, yeah.
The things
Here's an
that the
example.
drop for a particular player will be earmarked. So no matter who picks it up, it goes to their inventory. So you see, even though I picked it up, because it's for Tiffany, it went to Tiffany. So that means Tiffany can keep using her quick equip menu instead of having to bring the game to a halt. So it keeps couch co-op in the flow and in the mode. The other thing was improving moment-to-moment combat, you know, like making the normal monsters way more rewarding. So, you know, there was the improved massacre you've been seeing this whole time, which gives the massive XP bonuses. It also is what sparks the Nephilim Glory Globes every time you hit a massacre level. There's like 10 levels in a massacre, all the way up to 300 monsters is the highest level of massacre. So each level you hit within a massacre drops a Nephilim Glory Globe. It gives you the massive XP bonus. And it's just pretty freaking satisfying to round up a big bunch of monsters and get that counter.
How many times have you hit that 300? Do you do it pretty regularly?
No, it's pretty hard.
It's pretty tough.
There's one dungeon in particular, not going to give it away, I'll let you explore, but there's one in the dungeon in particular that makes it a little easier, but still pretty tough. Let's see, traps, we improved traps, so they give a resource bonus, so kind of looking for opportunities to kill things with the environment is now very engaging. And then the final thing is destruction. You know, rolling through pots has always been, and barrels has always been cool, but now you can get a little speed bonus when you do it, like a significant speed bonus for up to 60 seconds. And then the other set of features, boy, this answer just won't end, will it? But
No, you got it.
the other set of features is the social features we talked about. Player gifts, Nemesis mode, and most important, I think, of all is apprentice mode, meaning if I'm level 1 and Tiffany's level 70, I can still join her game. My stats will temporarily be amped, so I do really good damage. I can take a lot of punishment. And more importantly, because we have the earmarked loot now, I can still get loot for my level. She can get loot for her level, no sorting, and everybody's just having a great time.
And you can have a good sort of balanced experience, even if you have played for 80 hours and someone just came over your house and has never played before.
Exactly, yeah.
Nice. Very considerate of you. All right, let's burn through a few more questions here. We got about 10 minutes left in the stream. Vision Black Dog is wondering, are there any Xbox-themed rifts like the Last of Us rifts for PlayStation?
It's a great idea. We'll have to look into that one. But yeah, for now, we have the Sony ones we're really excited about.
And is that something you have to download separately, or is that just included in the Sony, in a PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 copy of Ultimate Evil Edition?
So you will need to download the day one patch that we'll have.
The day one
available.
patch?
Yeah.
Right on. Red Quell wondering, is there any, will you be able to zoom the camera out similar to the view from the PC version? Are you able to sort of change that view, or is it pretty much controlled by the game?
No, I mean, the camera is where it's at for
Yeah.
very good reason. We spent a long time playing with the right camera distance to work with direct control, and this is what works really best. And also, like, sometimes, like, on PC, I'll hit the wrong button on my keyboard, I'll move my camera. I'm in the middle of the action, I'm really angry, I'm like, I just want my normal camera back. So
Just see what's going on.
yeah, we just wanted to make it as seamless as possible and keep players focused on the action.
Not ready yet.
B-Jack wondering, will there be an Ultimate Evil Edition for PC as well?
It's already pretty ultimately evil.
It's
I
pretty
don't
much
know.
there.
Yeah, totally. But we are going to look at some of the console exclusive features, kind of on a case-by-case basis, and see, hey, does this make sense for PC? If it does, there's a really good chance you'll see it on PC.
JWS player is curious about sort of that couch co-op. If if you want to bring your character over to your friend's house to play it, is there a way to do that? Do you put it on a USB stick? Do you connect to your online account? How does that work?
So depending on where you store your save, you can either do it on memory storage like a USB stick, or you can do cloud storage, which both Xbox and PlayStation support. You can either just load your profile, load your account on the console at your friend's house and pull it down, or just plug in your USB stick and it should work seamlessly.
That's kind of a theme for you guys with this one, isn't it?
Seamless is a theme. Seamless gameplay, seamless experience.
Well, it's kind of like you said, we just wanted, like our mantra when we started the console edition was pick up and slay. So we're always just looking for ways to like, anything that takes you out of the action, anything that's keeping you too long in the menus or just disrupting your flow, we're just hammering that aggressively and trying to make it as smooth as possible.
I really like the image of you guys hammering things out of the game aggressively, and then I'm just picturing you over some sort of glowing forge, like it must be seamless, clang, like that menu must go clang.
Well, a lot of us have those Doomhammer replicas on our desks, so yeah, that's pretty much what they're
not
for.
far from the truth.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What have we got here? Any too many something Sky, GLCL Sky. Any chance you can ask about gold costs on console compared to PC? Since there was an auction house, more gold available. We've got some economists in here wondering about sort of how that balance is on the console versus the PC.
Well, the Mystic, if you have a lot of gold, you can kiss it goodbye as soon as you get start using the Mystic, because you will get addicted to her and she charges a lot. So yeah, just re-rolling your really high-end items is a pretty big gold sink. However, at the other end of the spectrum, we try to make it much more friendly to the new player. So little things, but like potions are much less expensive for the new player now. All players really, but new players are the ones who really feel that cost. And just trying to make the game as friendly as possible.
Friendly as possible. Well, that's why all those unicorns are in there.
Well, aside
right?
from all the stuff trying to kill you, it's as friendly as possible.
All right, I'm going to hop over here to the GameSpot questions. Can we? Yeah, so folks are curious about cross-generation play, PS3 to PS4. Will people on PS3 be able to play with PS4 people?
No, you'll only be able to play with people that
online
are on
within
the same
console
as you.
And that's the case for other cross-generation games as well. Arcturus, oh, I guess that question got answered in the GameSpot comments. There's actually, in the comments on GameSpot, there's a lot of questions being asked that folks are answering. So thanks to you folks, so those knowledgeable folks sort of engaging in the dialogue there, as well as in the Twitch chat. We are coming down to it here on our Diablo III Ultimate Evil Edition Q&A live stream. So let me just reiterate one more time that we are giving some stuff away. And this is I saved the big thing to show off towards the end. It is the Lord of Terror himself. Bubba boom. Look at this guy. Yeah.
25 points of articulation.
25 points of articulation?
And you must be 17 years or older to use it. 16 years old, you're not ready for this thing.
You just can't handle it, I'm
17,
sorry.
Yes.
What else you guys got? You got some good figurine factoids. Oh, you just read that off the front.
We did our research.
Here I was, Tiffany, thinking you were some kind of figure ace. Just reading the box. All right, if you want to win Diablo III, the Lord of Terror, or if you want to win two of these cute pop vinyl dudes right here, we got Diablo Interior, or if you want to win a lanyard that looks like a sickle and
Is it like, oh, is it this guy
like
that's
it might
holding us
harm
up?
me. All you got to do is follow GameSpot on Twitter, and we'll be posting information on how you can win all that stuff once this stream is concluded. How are you guys gonna conclude the stream? You got to clear the Foundry bounty?
Well, we have one dude.
Yeah,
we have
one
one
guy's
dude who's
hiding
really
from
good at
us.
hiding. Smart monster, knows what's coming for it.
Hunt him down.
Yeah, like the dog he is.
All right, I'm gonna try to grab a few more questions here that we haven't already covered. Kit Claw wondering, are items for your characters account bound? If I get a helm, I know my friend can use. Can I mail it to him? Or, you know, is the sort of sharing just the gift specific
No,
stuff?
you can mail pretty much anything in the game. So if you know your friend could use this item, you can use the mail system and send it right to them.
Sharing is caring, after all.
Yeah, and we also removed a lot of the trade restrictions, or pretty much all of the trade restrictions from PC, because since console is less of a global economy, they're much more siloed, contained economies. We just really wanted to err on the side of just you being able to help out your friends and just be cool to your friends.
I like that worldview. I support it. The Monkey Bongo wants to know if you can play online with people who are not on your friends list, if you can just get into a kind of matchmaking situation.
You can. So a big draw of Diablo is matchmaking on PC, and we support the same thing on Ultimate Evil Edition. So you can choose what tags you want, whether you want to do campaign, you want to do adventure mode, you want to do bounties, what difficulty you want to play in, and you can matchmake over Xbox Live or PlayStation Network.
Also, Monkey Bongo is a pretty awesome name.
It is a pretty awesome name.
Yeah.
Monkey Bongo is getting the thumbs up. Marnix are wondering if you've already got Diablo 3, is there any way to sort of upgrade to the Ultimate Evil Edition that's that other than paying full price for the new game?
Well, we really wanted to make, a couple of things. First, we just wanted to make it really easy for people to get to the game, so we bundled it all into one little package. So we didn't want to make it like a traditional expansion where like, hey, here's this box, it doesn't do anything unless you have this other box, and oh, they might not have that box in the store. Or also, the other thing is, since this is next gen, this is the first major RPG to come out on next gen. There's a lot of new players with these amazing consoles just waiting for something really awesome to just dive into. We think, you know, this could be one of the things they get really excited about. So we just want to make it super easy, one-stop shop, and as just seamless as possible.
That's where it is.
Aggressive hammering was
seamless
was
friendliness.
To get rid of those seams.
Yes.
And did you mention any digital download versions of the game? Is it going to be available that
So
way?
it is available digitally. It'll be available digitally day one for PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. And then on September 18th, it'll be available digitally for Xbox 360 as well.
And so what's the first date that it's available?
August 19th.
Okay, so August 19th
Mark it on
for...
your calendar.
That's the day you want to, August 18th, you want to go line up at midnight, go get our game.
We're not supposed to go down there, right?
19th, that's just under 2 weeks away. Or Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition comes to PS4, PS3, Xbox One, and Xbox 360. But you also mentioned September 18th is a date that it's going to be digitally available for
Xbox 360.
Xbox 360.
It'll be available digitally for the other 3 platforms on August 19th.
On launch
as well.
day.
Yeah.
Spy Dude FX wondering about previously earned trophies. Do you need to re-earn them, or is it just you've got a whole new, like, you know, through the story or something like that? If you've already played through Diablo 3 on the console, you got some trophies under your belt, do you need to re-earn them, or can you re-earn them?
We have a full new set, so you do re-earn your achievements and trophies, regardless of how far you got in the original Diablo 3. So there's a whole new set of challenges for you.
Yeah, we just didn't think it'd be fun. Like, first thing you boot the game is like, unlocked, 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 unlocked,
Yeah.
you know, or just not having the ability to re-unlock those.
Mm-hmm. All right, folks, we are almost done here. You guys gonna? It looks like you've completed the bounty.
Yeah, the Act 1, now we're about, I don't know, 2/5 of the way through Act 3.
We abandoned Captain Hale.
Oh, did we?
We
Oh,
have.
Honestly,
I should learn to keep up. It's kind of my stance.
listen, if you're not gonna keep up, I'm sorry.
Don't ask for assistance, yeah.
Test the God on GameSpot. This is a question that's been echoed a little bit earlier. If you've got, if you join up with people and maybe you're not, digging their play style, you want to keep continuing, but you don't want them to come along with you, do you have to quit out and sort of start another game, or can you bot people from any games that you host or get into?
We decided to, because PlayStation and the Xbox support, sort of controlling who you play games with through just their individual systems, we decided to not complicate things and have our own system. So you can handle that through both the PlayStation and Xbox menus themselves. You would have to either leave the game, or I'm not exactly sure how kicking people works on Xbox and PlayStation. I've never had to do it myself.
We're
but
both pretty friendly people. So
Yeah.
I've never had to do that.
it is supported through the consoles themselves, though. So we don't have any explicit in-game vote to kick features or anything like that.
Cool. All right. And Dblaic01 is wondering about event type stuff. I mean, obviously on the PC with having everybody connected all the time, you can sort of do events that people can participate in for a weekend or something like that. Do you have any plans for events on consoles in that same kind of vein?
We do. We're still looking to see exactly what events we think would be supported best on the console versions, but that's definitely something that we are keeping in mind.
All right. Oh my goodness, those things are nasty.
I think they're kind of
Love
cute.
them. You think they're kind of cute?
Kind of.
Yeah. Do you guys sell plushies of those?
We
Not yet.
not of him.
Not yet.
I wish that would be cool. Attached to the edge of your desk.
I'd be down with
Squeezing
that.
the little demons come
For
out.
sure.
That would be really awesome.
All right. Well, Tiffany, Johnny, thank you so much. I think we're going to wrap it up here. Diablo III Ultimate Evil Edition coming out August 19th.
August 19th.
Anything else you guys want to mention about the whole game situation before we wrap it up?
We're just so excited to see it on next gen. I don't know if you can tell, but it's just jaw-droppingly gorgeous. This is how it was meant to be played.
All right. And if you guys have any further questions, go ahead and get into the GameSpot comments. We've got people answering questions there. Or you can tweet at Tiffany, maybe. Track her down on Twitter. Or tweet at me, and I'll send them that way. Johnny stays off the Twitter, because
We got to keep them off
Danger
on
zone.
danger zone.
Danger zone.
danger zone.
Yes, it is, the berry. Yeah.
Remember, we've got stuff to give away, including this guy with over 25 points of articulation, according to Tiffany. And the box. All you got to do is follow GameSpot on Twitter, and we'll be giving away, or we'll be telling you how you can enter to win that stuff. Thank you so much for watching our Q&A live stream with developers of Diablo III Ultimate Evil Edition. Johnny, Tiffany, thank you again for coming in and playing.
Thanks for
Thank you.
having us.
All right, folks, that's a wrap. Diablo III Ultimate Evil Edition coming out in just 2 weeks.